see actually everyone making fun
Yeah.
from as well.
Yes, it was good to see that spirit. First time I actually
Get this.
see it. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Let me see if I can share my screen and let me know if you can see my screen as well.
Yes, I can.
Awesome. Share. Oh, not share. Present. Oh, the technologies today. We already got 5 people watching. That goes fast.
Oh, really? Are we already live?
We're
Okay, I
already
didn't even
live.
know
Sorry, I forgot to mention. Yeah, 6 people now. There's Eric saying good morning. That reminds me of Eddie Murphy in Coming to America for some reason. Scott is there as well. Hey, man. Tom, nice to meet you, Tom. I think you're new here. Tom, I hope you're doing well. Hey, Rob. It must be Wednesday. Good morning.
No, today is it's much cooler. So to give you an idea about the weather, it's 41, so 5 less degrees from last time. And in Fahrenheit, it's 106. That's bad.
Interesting.
Not sure how's the weather in your side, Stefan? It's got cooler?
It actually got, we had a lot of rain the last few days, and I think it's going to be rainy 2 more days, and then it actually picks up again, but it's not going to exceed like 20, 25 degrees or something like that. So it's nice barbecue weather. Yeah, that's why I'm leaving with some friends as well. I think next week, Friday.
Yeah. I'll make sure you enjoy it. While it lasts, we never know what happens with the world in the next weeks or months.
It's definitely a crazy year, Fauzi.
Events are going fast lately.
Nice. Gary is here. Hey, clever man. Fauzi, what is the temperature? Yeah, that's just mentioned. And there's Michael. Hello, Stefan. He's just saying hello to me, Fauzi, not to you.
Yeah, not hello to me. Thank you, Michael. Not hello to you as well.
Oh yeah, Michael, your t-shirt is, by the way, on the way as well. You should have received it already. At least that's what I could see from my end, from the system we have been using. Anyways, guys, I guess that's enough chit-chat. The Google Sheets Part 2, action, exploration, and new actions that are coming this Monday. That's something we're going to talk about, or that's what we are going to talk about today. Are you excited about this one?
I'm always excited when it comes to lives, and especially when it comes to Google Sheets.
That's very, very good to hear. We've got 8 people on right now. I hope to see some more people on. Otherwise, we're just going to continue right here. We just move on to the agenda, guys. So I got the introduction. We have been chit-chatting for some while right now. Here's the points: the Google Sheets summary and a small demo. Again, guys, we have done a demo already of Google Sheets, and in the last live, that is. And we promised that we are going to release a couple of new actions. And today, or Monday, was actually the release. And today we are going to highlight those actions. There's one actual mistake I want to highlight. And I think that's something we can come out right now, Fauzi. The difference between delete and clear. Is this something you want to talk a little bit more about? And
yes. So I think all of the guys who are watching now were already in the last session.
Yeah, most of
them. And yes, most of them. So when we actually were deleting the rows, actually not the whole row is deleted, but only the content of that row is being deleted. And now what you would expect with the delete row action is that the whole row is deleted, meaning that, let me share my screen right here, Stefan, real quick.
I need to stop sharing.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Okay, so that's meant that if we had, for example, some values here, and you would to delete the row. Well, let's just use messenger.com. I wasn't even sure why I'm using the other email. And some dummy phone. So if you had also another value, let me just copy this value over here. So imagine that you had 2 rows. Now you would probably expect that if you delete that first row, this is the action that will happen.
Yeah, delete row.
And then you will end up with only 1 row, but this is not the action that happens when you delete a row. So what you delete a row is actually the contents of it that's deleted, meaning that the row is cleared, and you'd rather end up with a result like this. So you will still have the first row, but it will have no contents, and you will have the second row in its place. So that's why we also renamed the action clear row instead of delete row, so that the confusion doesn't happen right there.
Yeah, because and let me get this straight, Fauzi. This is where my confusion actually kicks in again as well. There is no actual delete row as we are action, right? There is no API hook right there, which we can actually use to manipulate this sheet. So guys, that's also for you. I think Zapier, Integromod, all those other in-between software, they don't allow you to do this as well. We can only go as far as Google allows us to go. So we're not able to delete that row as the entire row as you're used to do manually, as Fauzi just demonstrated, but you can actually clear the row as he just so did again just now.
I think it's actually good because this way it's easier for you to track the deleted things. If the rows were actually deleted, then you will not know what happens. You will just end up with something like this, and you don't actually know if there was a row before that was deleted.
Especially if your automations are built upon a Google Sheet, right? And they want to have, or they're expecting data from a certain field. If that row gets deleted and everything goes up, then that data it actually depends on for that field is suddenly another field altogether. It's actually the field that was previously below. So this is where, I think it's actually a good thing, but the wording kind of screws with it.
Yeah, you mentioned something important. Also, when you use formulas and you are, for example, having something that has A3 or whatever stuff, and then it becomes A2, then it will also create problems in your formulas. So this is also why clearing works better. And I think it's a good thing that Google is allowing this, this thing to happen. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Nice. Thanks for that explanation right there, Fauzi. Let me just get right here. Can you confirm that I'm sharing?
Yes, you are. Yeah.
Okay, guys. I guess that's under the Google Sheets summary and small demo. I think that's already the second point cleared. Google Sheets clear versus delete. We skipped the true delete because that's actually not possible. So again, to summarize that small point, we are not allowed by the Facebook API to delete the entire row. We can only clear the entire row. And this is a good thing. If you would like to know why this is a good thing, just take a look at the recording. Okay, cool. Google Sheets part 1. I just want to quickly go over this as it's, I think, good to actually refresh our minds again. So what did we actually do? We released last week, we released the Google Sheets integration. And this is, you can actually integrate it with the OAuth approach. Basically on the integrations manager inside your Clever Messenger account. You can simply select or add Google Sheets via your Google account. Then you have the Google Sheets card on the Flow Composer, which you can drag and drop to the canvas. And then you would have the insert and delete row actions inside that card, which allows you to send data over to Google Sheet or now clear, not delete row, but now the clear row, I should say. It should also be able to clear your data. And it's done in such a way that the Google Sheet actually accepts formulas, and we can send over those formulas using Clever Messenger as well. That's a small summary right there, and I'm going to show you just a bit where the Google Sheets integration is by just showing a couple of sheets again. In today's live, we're going to talk about Google Sheets Part 2, and we're going to talk a little bit more about Clear and Update Row, and we're going to do a small demo. Now, guys, this is going to be a very, very short demo for us because you already have seen how the Google Sheet integration entirely works. We just want to demonstrate this improvement upon this integration. So it's going to be fairly easy. Then we're going to slightly touch upon the new add-ons, the new actions we're going to do, and talk a little bit about the R variable that is going to come with it, and why we think it's important, because R variables are not being used a lot inside our application yet by most of the users, but it's just a very, very neat feature. And if you really understand what it actually can do, and we hope to achieve this through this demo we're going to do next week, showcasing this, then we hope that you will be using R variables more as well. We never actually did a training about that, right, Fauzi? So we might do a training about that later on as well. It's basically, it allows you to become a coder. So for the slide tease right there. Then we end this this call, guys, with questions and answers about the Google Sheets integration or any other questions you may have. There we go. We're going to dive in.
I like these introductions right there.
Every time a new picture, right? Okay, guys, this is basically where you can find your Google Sheets integration. Again, this is a small rerun of the last live we did. Where can you find it? On page level, meaning your chatbot, your Facebook page, under the automation tab, which is the magical wand, and then you see integrations, and you use the OAuth method to connect to your Google account, and then you find the Google Sheet card on your composer. Now, here's what happens. You create a new integration right there on the right. You click on create new. It opens up this thing right there. You authorize your account, and it goes to Google, and it will say grant Clever Messenger permission. However, because we're still in beta, right? Yeah, we will have like a warning screen, which will state that it may not be safe to continue. This screen will persist until we are out of beta with the integration. So it's still there, but rest assured, it is actually safe. It's just a warning they need to actually give you. I'm not actually aware why they are giving this warning.
Because they have to,
they have to
review stuff, to review stuff and see if it's all good.
Yeah, cool. It redirects you back to the integrations manager. You choose the name, you click on save, and then again you go to the composer and find the Google Sheet card. Really cool stuff. That's it for the little refresher right there. I do got some more stuff right here which we're going to talk about, but I think you're up right now.
Awesome. Thanks, Stefan, for listening in. So today we're going to have a small demonstration about the Google Sheets update, which is the new action. Something that you've mentioned last time, Stefan. It was a really good trick or a marketing trick. If we're going to add it to the marketing tricks, which is getting data bits by bits. And actually, it will only make sense to demonstrate this today. I think, not sure if it was Rob or Jerry who mentions or told you what was the best way to pass data to ActiveCampaign, and you mentioned that what you consider good is passing data by data. So when you get the email, you pass the email. When you get the phone, you pass the phone, and it continues like this, so that you end up with as much data as possible. And this is the same idea that we're going to replicate today with Google Sheets.
Okay, cool, nice. Let me stop sharing so that you can.
Okay, good, nice, right? Thanks. So I think at this point, everyone can see my screen.
Confirmed.
Awesome, cool.
I can. Can you see Fauzi's screen, guys? Can you hear him talk? I guess so.
Yeah. So first thing, we're always going to start by our Google Sheet and modeling the sheets. So here, I'm going to have a few columns, which is the PSID. Probably you're not familiar with what PSID means, which is the technical name for what a profile ID is on Messenger. So every profile on your Messenger audience page, or any subscriber that you have has a unique ID, Messenger ID, and we call it Space ID. You can call it Profile ID, whatever you want to call it. And this is the ID that you see here on the top of any person under your audience. So if I go here to Stefan, this is his Space ID, and this is a unique ID for every Messenger subscriber that you have.
And
so
per page, right? So this
per page, of course. Yeah.
This ID is, if I were to subscribe to another chatbot tied to another page, that ID would be different again, right? Yeah.
Yes, indeed, yeah. So for every person subscribed to any bot, it will have, or that person will have actually a different ID, and this ID will always be unique. And you will guys know why the reason we're talking about space IDs here. I just want to go over it quickly right now. And I want to pass this data to my Google Sheets when someone talks to my page. So here I'm just going to call it with its technical name from Facebook, which is PSID. Then first name, last name, email, and phone number. Basic data that we want to get from our users or subscribers. So last time we already went and created custom fields for both the phone and the email. So we don't need to do that again during this demonstration. We're just going to go ahead and create the flow. So GC Google Sheets live parts 2 demo. It's going to be a promotional. But when it comes to integrations, if you solely wanted to use integrations without any messenger interaction, promotional and non-promotion doesn't matter. This is just a side notion of things. So here I'm going to start my flow by putting a Google Sheets card. And the moment the person will enter this flow, I want to pass both or the PSID, first name and last name, to that sheet. First action, first thing that is there. Talks to my page, I want to get the data there inside my Google Sheets. So I'm going to click on the settings, hit the account that I want to use, and insert a row. And we're going to use the sheet that we're looking at right here. And the worksheet is sheet 1. Again, the worksheet is what you see here on the bottom. So here we are working on sheet 1.
You mean
and sorry?
You mean sheet? That's shit.
Yeah, sheet 1. It's a big difference.
I love your accent.
We're working on shit 1. This is what So right when you select sheet 1, thank you, Stefan, we're getting an autofill of the columns that we have.
Really cool. And fast, we actually improved upon that as well, right? So the data that actually, those columns are actually grabbed way faster than.
Yes, they used to be.
Yeah.
So just so you know, this Google Sheets integration is also in beta stage. So we're going to keep optimizing the whole process, UX of it, and even how fast this loads. So these sessions are also an occasion for you to get us the feedback on how you want these things to look or how you want them to change, so that we can at the end have a very solid version of the Google Sheets integration.
Yes, on that occasion right now, you wanted to ask something to the community.
Yes, this is something. Yeah, this is something that we're going to do. We're going to ask about your feedback about the update row UX, and see if it makes sense for you. If not, then we can come up with another UX for it, of how the things will flow. So right here, we're under the insert row. That's something that we've seen last time. And obviously, to update the sheet, we first have to fill it. So we're using the insert here on this demo. And I'm going to pass this messenger ID. This is the PS ID that we talked about earlier. The PS ID, again, is the technical name. Under Clever Messenger, you'll find it under messenger ID if you want to pass it. Then we're going to pass the first name, last name, and because at this point we don't know the email or the phone number of the person, we can just leave them empty. So this is what happens. This is the first thing that you get when you actually hit this particular flow. The data is pushed to Google Sheets. Now we want to ask, this is something we always recommend. The first interactions that your subscribers need to have with your bot should also be asking for their email addresses and phone numbers so that you can reach them on via other channels if this is needed. So we're going to ask this person now about their email address.
Exciting.
Yes. This is the first time Stefan sees this as well, as usual. It's the first reactions. So we're going to save this in an email custom fields. And now, the moment we get a valid email from our subscriber, we're going to update our Google Sheets with the email value. So we're going to put another Google Sheets card right over here under valid email.
And then we take the new action, right?
The new stuff, yes.
Okay.
Of course, here, something that I like to keep saying is that we support multiple accounts for inside your bot, so you can have many Google accounts inside the same bot and you can select between them.
Nice.
So here we have our new action, which is update row.
Awesome.
You select the spreadsheet, so this is the 15th. Okay. And you select sheet 1.
Okay, this is where it gets interesting. This is what I didn't see this before as well, guys. So
okay, yeah.
And this is the part where you want to get feedback on as well?
Yes, indeed, yeah. So the moment you select sheet 1, you will get the row that will also be auto-completed, and you will have the select lookup column. So of course, because you want to update a certain value, so you have to search for which row you want to actually update. So here, because we mentioned at the start of this conversation or demonstration that the PS ID is always unique to each subscriber and doesn't change, so you always want to look up for this value because it will always be unique. And you know that if you look up for the particular subscriber that has the particular PS ID, then you know that you're updating the right person.
So we're using that PS ID as a unique handler?
Yes, unique identifier.
Yeah, identifier, and then we can actually know which row. Clef Master then knows which row it actually needs to look at, right?
Yes, indeed, yeah. So now we know that, so first step we did is inserting a row which will insert the PS ID, first name, last name. Now we know that the PS ID is inserted and it's always unique. So next time when the person gives us their email, we want to look up for that PS ID that was inserted and we want to update the email field with the email that was given. Now you can, of course, update. Here you see that we have all of the rows, so you can update multiple rows at the same time. It really depends on the flow that you're doing. So if you want to get the phone number, the email, and maybe some other information, then at the end of your flow, you want to update every 10, then it's possible. You can just put in the data over here. And if you want to update piece by piece, which is, I think, a good option to not lose data, because if you are, for example, doing phone and doing email at the same time, and then at the end of that flow, you pass both email and phone, then chances that if someone enters their phone number and doesn't enter the email, then you will never get neither the phone or email inside your Google Sheet. So you want to pass data bit by bit, just like Stefan recommended in the last demonstration. With that said, and this is something that the others don't have, just like usual, we want to have things that are exclusive to us. Mm-hmm. You don't want to update GPS ID, you don't want to update the first name, you don't want to update the last name, and you don't want to update the phone in this case, only the email value. Mm-hmm. Now, what others will do is they will give you this, you will be actually forced to have a value for these guys. So you will have to re-enter the PS ID, re-enter the first name, re-enter the last name, and then enter field for the email, which is a lot of work. Yeah. So here what we have, and you can see here, there is a notice, lock columns you don't want to update, unlock them to update their contents. Click on the icons, lock and unlock icons to change the update status. So I don't want to update GPS ID. I click on this lock and you see that it's grayed out. I don't want to update the first name. It will be grayed out. I don't want to update the last name, grayed out. The phone, I don't want to update, is grayed out. The only thing I want to update the email is unlocked, as you can see here, and we can actually put the email custom field, and this is the only thing that will be changed in that particular row.
This is really good.
So that's the first reaction that I'm getting from you, Stefan.
I think this is really cool. I
Because
never expected it was this actually easy because I know that there is others actually force you, like you said before, to actually add the data again. It seems
yeah,
using more data. It's mere, yeah. It's not only a better way for the user, I think. It's also an optimized way for us, and this way you only have to send one piece of information, right?
yes,
Which
at the time.
makes it automatically faster as well.
Yeah,
It's cool. This is
cool.
really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, there were a lot of choices right there on how to implement this via drop down, where you can select the drop down of the value that you want to send and click apply to add it. But I thought that this would probably be the best option to run with. And let us know, guys, if you agree with Stefan that this is actually pretty cool and we should continue with this, or if you have another suggestion on how we can improve this UX of updating single values, then let
One
us
question I
know.
do got for you right now: how would you handle a sheet with a lot of columns, like let's say 20? Would that still make sense, for example?
This is where you can actually think that this will actually will be like one of the cons of this. But if we're going on the reverse scenario, what if you want to update 20 rows at the same time?
Yeah, that's yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, so you will always have
yeah. There's pros and
one
cons
side
to
of
each and
the
every perspective.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Cool. So with that said, we're going to do this and we're
Let me
going
just
to
you do your thing. Let me just ask the guys right here. Do you guys got any
sure.
questions, remarks, feedback right here for Fauzi and me, and for the rest of the team who's going to ultimately watch this live as well? Rob is actually saying something. Rob is saying, if you don't lock them, do you get an error message that says that is the problem? Will it let you save that without putting in the value or lock it?
No, you don't get any problem. Just like you saw here, we actually removed that because when you lock a value, it doesn't expect, when you lock a column, it doesn't expect you to have a value on it. And even if you put a value on it and you lock it, then it will not be updated.
Cool.
It
But
will
what happens if
refuse.
you use the update row card and then you leave the value blank? Will it update with a blank
Yes,
value?
yes, it will update with a blank value. Yeah,
Okay, so
it is.
that's why that lock is there.
Yeah,
Because you
it is.
ultimately have that use case as well, right? Where you want
Yeah,
to clear
yeah,
out that field or update that.
yeah,
Ah,
it is.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. So for example, you have a row which, we can just use coupons and you want coupons that auto delete themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So once it's used, you want to remove that coupon and you want to actually clear that particular coupon value and you
Yeah.
can just use it as a blank value right
Yeah.
there.
I got another question you from Michael
Yeah.
this time. Is he or is the person that is coming into the chatbot at the beginning as a guest have only the messenger ID?
They have the messenger ID, first name, last name, profile picture, gender.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can actually see the full list from here. Let me just open this, any actual cards. And you will see, this is the reason why we call them system attributes. This is the things that will be by default when someone talks to your page. First name, last name, full name, page name, profile picture, gender, and messenger ID. Of course, the tags are not there. But up to messenger IDs, things that are automatically completed, and you don't actually need to ask your subscriber what any of the information is here because it will be available to you by default.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think what just to elaborate a little bit more on the question, I think Michael also means that there's this guest mode coming up, right? Will that ID be similar?
The guest mode ID is a temporary ID. You will actually have an ID which will be related to that person, but once the conversation ends, you will never see that ID anymore with any other person,
Unless
even
you
if the
actually
same.
try to merge the profile, I
Yes.
guess. Yeah.
And of course, we're going to provide tools for merging when
Yeah.
we are going to implement this. Yeah.
Cool. So Michael says, even as a guest, not logged into Facebook. Not logged into Facebook. That feature is still under construction, by the way, Michael. on the Facebook side of things.
As you don't get the first name and last name, so
But you will not get the first and last name.
Yeah.
Then we got Rob a suggestion. It would be good. It would be a good thing to have a message pop up when you save that you have not logged a clear value. Otherwise, we could mistakenly forget and clear out data on lots of rows if we let it go. It's actually
yes,
good mention.
yes.
So
that's actually very good, very good feedback there.
Yeah, like, do you really want to? Or what we could do is also automatically log things, and people need to unlock them first.
That's also a good thing. Yes, actually, this is a good proposition there, Stefan. Yeah. Then you start with them unlocked, and then you just work on the values that you want to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What would you think about that idea, Rob? Tom is saying, this is my first session. I'm wondering if I go back and watch each video, they will build on each other systematically and bring me up to speed where you are. More or less, yes. And there's a lot of documentation videos, as well as new training videos that's upcoming. We're actually crafting the plan right now, as we think we can do a better job. Plus that Clever Messenger went through a series of updates throughout at least the last year. We have been consistently updating new features each and every week, right, Fauzi? Yeah. So we need to redo a lot of the documentation videos. It's more or less similar, but we can make it more straight to the point, Tom. And there is going to be a quick start series as well, which allows you to get the basics run, as well as a webinar Fauzi and me are going to do. Not sure when that webinar is, but that webinar will be a 60-minute overview webinar about the features inside Clever Messenger to give you a bird's eye view. Funny.
Cool. Nice sounds. Looks like you got some money.
That's the customer. I'm not sure who actually paid. And this is where we do it for, right? I mean, people actually pay us money for the exceptional service we try to deliver here at and I do hope we do a good job, guys. So let us know in the chat if you like Clever Messenger so far and like these lives and all that stuff. So give us some feedback on that as well. Rob is saying, I like the idea of having them locked. Then it's really clear on what you need to do. I think that's something we need to do then. Michael says, so we can ask for that info from the guest and update the sheet on the temp ID.
Of course, yeah.
Of course. Cool. Well, then let me stall you right here, Fauzi. Thanks, guys, for the feedback so far. If you got more suggestions, just keep them coming. This is what this particular call is about, Q&A, just to see how we can improve this integration and make it the best Google Sheet integration of all those chatbot builders. I think we're already ahead, basing on the actions we actually are providing, and it will be so much more awesome after next week.
Yeah, indeed. So to continue with the demonstration, now that you asked for the email address, we want to pass it to Google Sheets. After passing it, we want to ask our subscriber for their phone number. And once they give us a valid phone number, we want to update our Google Sheets with the phone number that they gave. So first, I'm going to have the custom feed value or custom feed for the phone cards. And then we're going to drop another Google Sheets cards from here or use the duplicates button.
Yeah, so this was actually similar to basically what Fauzi stated at the start of this live. We had an example in the last live about Active Campaign, how we would go about getting the most data from a particular lead. And this is what Fauzi is actually simulating, but then with Google Sheets right here. Why are we doing this? Why are we breaking this up? And why are we not doing a catch-all at the end? The reason is quite simple, because if a person is mid-flow and decides to stop right there, close out Messenger, or perhaps his dog wants attention, or his cat wants attention, or his wife is calling him to get dinner or whatever. At that moment, it's quite possible that a lead is never going to fill out all the rest of the information asked in that specific chatbot flow. With the current setup, if you ask those things or put those things like Fauzi is doing right here, those Google Sheet cards in between, you basically collect data on each and every step. So it doesn't matter if the guy or girl leaves mid-flow, you already have their email so that you can actually follow up with them via email as well. That's basically what Fauzi is simulating, and it actually poses a good use case to showcase this demo, right?
Cool. Thanks for guessing there. So let's continue this. So here we have our account that we need to select. Again, multiple accounts are possible. Actions, we're going to do the same thing. Updates, we're going to use our sheet one. Now I'm never going to forget this sheet one. Never.
Funny.
Yeah. And here's the lookup column. Of course, we're going to use the base ID. Here, of course, you can also write manual stuff. It doesn't necessarily have to be from the picker, but of course, because we are using a complicated scenario here, then it's, for example, if you're looking for a particular email, you could just look up by email and type it manually. Here you are using the picker because of the messenger ID. And same thing here, we don't want to update the PS ID, neither the first name, last name, neither the phone. We only want to update the phone. This card is for the phone, yeah. We want to update the phone, so we simply put the phone thing right there. We save this thing and we hope that it works.
This is one where it's bugging actually.
Yeah. So now we're going to test this flow, and we're going to use an m.me link for the first card on this flow. So I'm going to click on this stuff. There you go. And something should open up right here on the Album Guys page. So what's your best email address? At this point, we should already have the first name, last name, and PSID, as you can see, because this was the very first action on our flow. So before anything else, we pass or insert a new row with that information. Then we're going to ask about the email address and pass the email address to the Google Sheets. So here I'm just going to use fauzi@clevermessenger.com. Right after getting this information, we're going to be asked to pass the phone. And as you can see here, our email got updated. Now, following that flow, we pass the email and it updated the row. Then it will ask us for the phone and it will update the phone row. So I'm going to enter a dummy phone over here.
Looks real.
And the phone field was actually updated.
Look how quick that actually goes.
Yeah. So we could, of course, have a confirmation of stuff, but for the sake of demonstration, I'm just going to leave it here. But you can also just thank your subscriber for giving you the information and just continue to flow with other stuff that you want to do.
So my comment usually when this happens with a native integration and going as fast as it goes, I mean, it was like instantly updated right there.
Yeah.
This is why we do these native integrations and why I always used to say like you don't need Zapier, but we actually updated that now as well, right? So we have instant webhooks there too. Doesn't mean if you have a free account or a paid account or one of those levels, anything on the Zapier side of things, usually you had to wait at least 15 minutes for it to update. That's not something that is happening anymore as well. So that was usually one of the comments I actually made to make us look better. I guess right now it's only the price or the need of an intermediary software.
Not also the price, but the overview. Like
exactly, yeah. That's
right here. It's everything is happening on the same flow. You're getting that data directly from your subscriber and passing it. It's I mean, doing things on two different apps is always harder and prone to error. Sometimes it's very hard to debug where things went wrong. But if you have one single point of connection, then you have a good overview, and you also, whenever there is an error, something is wrong, you can easily go back and fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Nice. I really love that demo right there, buddy. Very, very
Awesome.
cool. Nice. I do got a couple of more questions for you, suggestions. Rob is saying, I know it would be a lot of work up front, but long term it will be hugely valuable and less work on your service as you grow. Put short videos on each card, what you need to do for those that have questions when they are trying to accomplish something right. We actually made a start on that, I think, but we actually hidden those because it gets more and more complicated. These are the user pilot demonstrations, I guess, which also can hold videos. Do we have something you can quickly showcase in the, for example, the text card? Are those live yet, or are they not live yet?
Yeah, they should be live, I think. Text cards, for example. Let's
so Rob, this is for you. We have these little eye icons, and they should pop up like a little thing right there, giving you more information about that specific card. So this is the text card. You can actually continue right there and take the tour, and it takes you through the entire card right there. So yeah, we actually thought it would be cool to do a video. But the reason why we actually went with this software, User Pilot, is because it allows us to do quick changes as well. Because as the platform grows, the features will look different, designs will look different, and the video would mean that it needs to be reshot over and over and over again. With this software, we only have to attach it to an ID or an element, so to speak, on our end, and it starts working again. So for us, it's less overhead. Hope that makes sense, Rob. So we do get something in place already that's showcasing this for each and every card. That is for the message types, button actions, but not for the integrations, since integrations are that's something we need to discuss still.
Yeah. For integrations, yeah, we can add the video, whatever. But this works pretty smoothly, I guess. To went over all the steps.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Good, yeah.
Also note that there are 13 quick replies, guys. With your competitors, they only allow you to run 11 quick replies. We're the only one that allow you to run 13 quick replies.
Yeah.
Also, perhaps a nice little mention right there. Tom is saying, beautiful. Man, I really like that you love it. Jerry is saying, question, if I create a flow specific for Google Sheets and save it, I could then import that whole flow to another flow to save time for another flow I'm creating, correct?
Yes, you can do this.
Yes, Jerry. It's basically as long as it's in your own account, right? So
yeah.
Then it will take your API settings, your setup, and everything. However, if you're using that in a template, all your settings will belong to you, and those will not be distributed into a template. Or if we got this thing called flow sharing soon as well, and this will also prohibit you from sending over your details. That does make sense. These native integrations are insane, says Jerry. Really cool. I came from another chatbot tool that has 0 integrations. I think which tool you actually know you have been using. So this is Heaven. Thanks, FNS. Really cool. Tom is asking a good question, I think. Will this cross over to Microsoft Excel?
Currently, we're only supporting Google Sheets. I'm not sure if I know that Microsoft has an online Excel, but I'm not sure if they have an API for that. If they have an API for that and we can connect with them, then definitely it's a good addition to also be able to use this on Microsoft Excel for the clouds. This is how they call it. So.
Yeah. So that's actually answered by Jerry later as well. So we got Scott saying, yes, flows can be copied. He's replying to Jerry. We then got Jerry replying to Tom again. He's saying Google Sheets is cloud-based, so I would think that Microsoft Excel is not be crossed over, but let's hear from the clever man. Well, Fauzi just mentioned indeed, he thinks that there is a online version. I've never actually heard from this. I thought it was a Windows spreadsheet, desktop-based thing, not an online thing. But if the man Fauzi says it,
they even ported Microsoft Word online, and it's
okay,
now also so.
Yeah, my dad actually tries to put that stuff on me all of the time. He actually bought Microsoft Office for the entire family, and I really wants to push it.
Push you to use it.
Yeah, each and every month he's asking me, dude, you didn't activate your Microsoft account yet. You didn't, and I'm like, no, I'm a Mac user. I like Pages. I like numbers. This is my thing. But for some reason, even though he's a Mac user as well, he wants to use that Microsoft Word.
I always find it very hard to, I mean, the cloud, even the cloud version of their Microsoft Office is when you want to use it, it takes a lot of time just to set up the document and enter it. It's much less optimized than what Google offers in terms of their Google Drive and Google Word and shit and stuff. Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Cool. So
I actually took over the screen, if you don't mind, again.
Of course, yeah. I think my job is ended there.
We do get another a comment right here from Jesse. He's saying, where can we find the other recordings of the past sessions? I'm not sure if you got the last.
This is a recurring question, Stefan. We need to add an automated reply.
Yeah, yes. Probably a chatbot that actually is doing that thing. I can see that my pasting the YouTube comment into the chat right here actually got marked as spam. Perhaps that's why you didn't see it.
Okay.
Jesse, so there's a couple of ways you can actually get to the recordings. The recordings you can see under videos under the groups. So Facebook/groups/Clever Messenger. And then on the left side, you have a tab or a link called videos. And that's where you can actually see all the previous videos as well, the recordings of the past sessions. But we also have a Clever Messenger YouTube channel. And this is where we actually upload all the lives as well. So if that makes sense. You can find us, just go to YouTube and type in Clever Messenger, and you'll find our glorious channel. And this is where you find some other cool videos about the Facebook chatbot page hacks. I think the last one on the live next Saturday. We got some more stuff going as well.
I like the hacks that you make, Stefan. I learned from them new tricks, by the way, so you know.
That's really cool. Okay, Jesse, thanks. I hope that did it for you. Fauzi saying, I'm waiting on support for a solution, but when I try to import any flow, either at the start of a brand new flow.
I think that was already fixed.
Yeah, we had a team call prior. Yeah. Each and every Wednesday we do a live, but prior to that, we actually have 45 minutes to 60 minutes with the team where we actually talk about some stuff together. And this particular issue was reported as fixed, Jerry. So I'm not sure if it's in production yet or if it's on the station.
Yeah, it should be on production. So please give it a try, Jerry, and let us know if it's fixed. Of course, if it's not, then you can always shoot another message to the support so that they take another look. But you can now already try it and see if it's fixed for you.
May have a guy spamming us. I'm not sure. Scott is saying, yeah, I'm not sure what's happening right here, but every comment here is being marked as spam. So there's probably someone watching this live right here.
I'm not getting this behavior.
There's like a little green icon next to the comments.
I don't see it on my hands.
I will make a screenshot for you later. And
sure.
Okay. Indeed, Scott, I'm seeing the same thing. I'm not sure what this what's happening, but for some reason these are being marked as spam, or there's a person actually being funny and marking them as spam. I'm not sure. Anyways, what I got right here on my screen, guys, still is a Google Sheets function list. I do want to throw some extra emphasis on this. With the insert row option, you're actually able to send out over a formula to Google Sheets as well. So you can actually type in a formula inside Clever Messenger, and that formula is applied to the cell. So I'm gonna add that to the mix right here as well. I hope this link actually gets added and that the comment is not being added as spam. But this is again the function list. This was previously requested by Rob. It has been shared in the previous live, and I'm doing so here in this live because I thought it would be a good addition right here as well. Jerry's saying it's fixed.
Awesome, good to hear.
And Rob is asking, being able to give a customer info from Google Sheets through the bot in a future update.
That's the next update, Rob. Yeah, that will be on Monday.
There you go. So this is what you see right here in front of you guys. Rob, this is for you, I guess. So on the 6th and the 13th of July, so last Monday and the Monday before, we actually released the Google Sheets integration and the current actions. So we now have insert row, delete row became clear row, and update row is new there as well. These actions enabled you to add user input to a Google Sheet or clear and update the row, and possibly specify the limit on the number of deleted cleared rows.
Yeah.
Is that something we can already do?
No, that's something that is a little bit problematic. So we are going to see if we're going to still implement it. If not, we're just going to skip this one as well. Because sometimes if you specify, and this is also Google Sheets, Google API limits, if you specify more than the limits that exists, then you might delete or update rows that you shouldn't actually be deleting.
Yeah.
So this will work if you really know the number of
cool. And just to make sure that the guys are not the guys and girls actually not deleting anything they should not delete.
Yeah. So sometimes we have to make these decisions to.
Sometimes too much power is not a good thing. That's what you're saying. There we
it's
go.
Like giving you the option to set the suspension on your car to anything you wanted, or set the power to also anything you wanted. You can cross. It's just sometimes it's just not.
It's not a good thing. Yeah. Awesome. So I want to mention something about the new actions, Fuzzy. So new add-ons on the Google Sheets integration. So that's coming Monday, the 20th of July. We're going to release a new action and a new air variable. It's called fetch rows and fetch individual cells. I have not seen this before. I know that you, Fuzzy, know what it is. And Lawrence, the guy behind, if you're watching, Lawrence, shout out to you, creating the actual Google Sheet integration as well. So tell us more about it, Fuzzy.
So fetch rows is actually basically what who said this? Rob, being able to give customer information from Google Sheets through the bot in the future. So for example, you want to retrieve the information to a specific row in the spreadsheet. So let's imagine that you have a PS ID, Messenger ID, just like we did, and you want to retrieve the email that corresponds to that PS ID. You only have to specify lookup column, just like we did on the delete and updates. And then once you specify that lookup column, it will retrieve the whole row that actually matches with that that lookup value that you specified. And you can actually paste or put that information on any place you want inside your bot. So, and of course, it's not the whole row, but you can control column by column. So you want to paste the email individually, you can do so. The phone individually could do so, or you can even put up the whole row just by putting those columns all together. For individual cells, for example, you have a static Google Sheets. And let me share my screen right here, Stefan. So this is actually hard to explain.
If it's too hard to explain, I mean, that's why we actually broke it up in 3 sessions, right? So you can always wait for the demo next.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
But,
so just to give you, just to give you an indication here, this is just a totally random example. So let's say that you have a value in the column E6, and you always want to retrieve from that column. Let's say that this is something secret, and you always are putting this value on E6. Then you can specify inside the Google Sheet action that you want to retrieve the cell which matches E and 6, and it will just go there and it will retrieve this value and put it back inside an air variable that you can use throughout your bots.
And this works also with the lookup value. So for example, if I have like a big...
No.
Okay.
So this is why we say individual cells, because this is totally giving you control over all your spreadsheet, and you can just select anything you want. You can even select the column name, for example. You want to select this column name, which is fun, E1, then you can do so. For the retrieval row, it will be using the lookup value. So you look up, for example, that particular PS ID, and you will get inside your new air variables all these values: PS ID, first name, last name, email.
Yeah, because that's the moment when we can actually repurpose the data we have captured. This is where we actually can use the power of Google Sheets and all its formulas, right? Have it calculate all this stuff, then capture that specific outcome of that formula, and then report that back to the user. This can be like tests, quizzes you want to do, and attribute points based on questions that were answered properly, or basically deny them points. And then once they have a certain point outcome, you can actually attach a value to that and then report that back to, for example.
And also, if you are working on different channels or different apps, then for example, you use Clever Messenger to first get the email, then you use another app to do some email automations. Maybe you also run a quiz via email, and you have the quiz answers that are put back here, for example, question 1, question 2,
very
stuff.
Nice. So I wasn't even there yet with my mind. So that's really, really cool. Because now what you're actually saying is a multi-channel kind of way.
It's like now enabling two-way synchronization between Google Sheets and your bots.
That's really cool. Guys, let me know in the chat if you understand this and how powerful this actually is, because I can see this working. Like, just for the random example Fauzi just stated. If we, for example, are using Clever Messenger, Google Sheets, and ActiveCampaign, we can use these together and have both ActiveCampaign and Clever Messenger update the Google Sheet and report data back on both mediums. Doesn't really matter where it goes. Like, if it's via email, it can actually grab the data from the Google Sheet, which is also including data from Clever Messenger. It can report via email, and vice versa. So if you collect data from email and you want to use that collected data and report it via the bot, you can actually do that as well. So it becomes very, very, I would like to say, lucrative to actually use this Google Sheets integration, because now it's basically like your content management system and CMS.
Yes, it's like you have the database there.
Yeah, really cool.
Store information. Yeah.
I just want to go over with some questions with you right now, and then wrap this up. It seems to be been 60 minutes already. I thought we were going to talk about this for 30 minutes. 60 minutes seems to be the cap each and every time. So let's see. Scott is saying, to follow up on Rob's question, it will be good to be able to change the flow of the conversation based on an existing value that is retrieved from a Google Sheet.
Indeed, this is.
I think this is what we just talked about as well, but this is really indeed something that is possible.
Yeah.
Jerry's asking something as well. Any way to change the text card after I created it with a text and quick replies into an ask for multiple choice card? If you're asking for a way to convert the text card to a multiple choice card, you will have to do this manually. We don't have a magic button. We can make it extremely easy for you, but not that easy. There is some stuff you need to do yourself, and let's face it, it's more fun this way. It's like those Instacake recipes, right? You only have to add an egg. Make the actual cake. So you do have to put in a little bit of effort right there, Jerry. It should be easy to actually have two windows open and copy everything over. So that should be possible. We do not have a convert button, so that's for sure. Tom says, "Gotta go, good stuff." Thanks. Well, thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
If you're going to watch the replay, thank you for watching, and I hope this first session for you was a good one. There we go. We have Jerry and with another question. Love it. Question not directly related to Google Sheets. That's okay. When using Twilio within a flow to send a text to a subscriber, what is the process if I wanted to conduct a text broadcast to all of my subscribers? Am I going to Twilio now and learn how to do the broadcast? I know some text softwares like Callloop allow you to build a list within their platform and then easily send a broadcast. Thoughts?
You don't need to do it that way. You can do it from Clever Messenger by sending broadcasts. Maybe something you want to go over very quickly, Stefan. This is some confusion that a lot of customers get. You can actually use our integrations to send broadcasts, and you're not actually bound to any of Facebook's policies. So whenever you use a third-party integration, Google Sheets, Twilio, Nexmo,
Do you know
which
where
is
the
now
Twilio?
Vonage.
I think we got Twilio integration on Clever Messenger, right? So let me just.
Yeah, you can do a broadcast anytime you wanted without any policy problems.
Well, let me just quickly share my screen and do guide me through it because I'm a little bit rusty when it comes to this. Let me know if I share my screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice. So first, I'm going to quickly create, let's say, a Twilio test flow for Jerry. Then I'm going to make it a non-promotional one.
This can be promotional as well. Okay. This is what we hear when you are actually going just to use Twilio, which is a third-party integration not related to Facebook. You don't really care about the policy. You can put whatever you wanted to put there.
Cool. Then I'm going to build from scratch, and let's just say that I'm only adding the SMS right here.
Mm.
So I'm going to select my Twilio account, send an SMS from any of these numbers. I think this needs to be our number. There you go. And then we are going to select the phone custom field and let's say blah, blah, blah. Sorry for the lack of
imagination.
So this is as good. So let's save it right there. And all I need to do, and I'm not going to send this right now because this will send blah, blah, blah to all the subscribers who actually send in their phone number. So there we go. I need to go to send a new broadcast and we select the flow. Let's say Jerry.
Twilio flow.
Well, not Twilio flow. Why doesn't
it just scroll down. Seems that you're using Twilio a lot.
Yeah, it seems so. Then I need to select all subscribers. There you go.
Yes, and this is because of the promotion stuff. Yeah.
That's what I
needed. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do earlier. Yeah. Good. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So this is if I were to select non-promotional, let me just do that and showcase that. So this is why I went with the actual non-promotional. Why is this? This is also that needs to be there. Non-promotional, I would say, and then do for example, a confirmed event update or post-purchase update. It really doesn't matter because we're not sending anything to Facebook right now.
That's actually, maybe we should add another tag there, which is non-Facebook stuff.
I think that
will
make it easier because now we're dealing with only Facebook stuff, but we can actually not touch Facebook at all, if you know what I mean. So did I save? No, I did not. So again, I'm going to select the flow. I think it's at the end. There we go, non-promotional right there. And now I can select all subscribers. You can see that there is 2,500 subscribers that are able to receive this text message. And if I were to hit send broadcast, everyone that actually is in this list and has their phone number
Phone.
in their profile, they will be sent blah blah blah. But for this was a demonstration right here, and I'm not going to send this text message, but it should showcase to you, Jerry, that you are able to actually send the entire text broadcast via Clever Messenger, and that you really don't need to have another app to do this for you.
Yeah.
How that
Cool.
makes sense?
Thanks, Stefan.
Good. Cool. Sharing my screen. Am I sharing my
So we
screen?
got. No, you're not. You're sharing your face.
Hope you like it, Fazi. Let's see.
That's good. We have Isar. It's been a long time that we haven't seen each other. Isar, I think we need to catch up soon. I hope that you're doing very well there in Germany. The situation is under control. So I think I'll drop you a message after this live so that we catch up. Then we have Rob. You have a direct integration with Katra. Is there a way to add someone to Google Sheets and confirm whether they are in something like Katra? Is something like that's possible? Right, just like that? No, it's not possible. Rob, I don't really see any way on how we could know that someone is or is he a customer of Katra. I don't see how it's possible unless you mention that if they are already added to the Katra list, then yes, you can simply add a tag inside Clever Messenger with if someone is added inside Katra, you will tag them with added inside Katra, and you will actually use a condition. And this can be vice versa. If it's added to Sheets, you can add a tag and then you don't add it to Katra. Yeah. Jan, good to see you as well.
Shout out to Jan. Love you, buddy.
Yeah, Jerry says, I see your screen, let's roll. And Jerry says, incredible. And I think that says for the video demonstration that you showcased. Yeah.
Guys, I guess that's it right now. If there's any questions, I think we're going to give you 1 or 2 more minutes to ask that final question. If not, we would like to bid you guys farewell and see you in the next one, right?
Indeed. So next live, same day, same time, and it will be about the third part about Google Sheets integrations. Yeah, part 3. Yeah. It will be a very good session next one, so make sure that you're there. You will see a lot of
It's actually going to be the session where I can get the old Clara Clairvoyant out of the closet and actually have it run totally on Clever Messenger.
This is the version where you could do this.
Oh my god! I've been waiting for this for so long because this gives a ton of overview, and I'm gonna share that with you guys, that template with you guys as well. And I'm actually planning to send you a couple of affiliate offers you can actually hook into this chatbot as well, so that you can simply run ads to that chatbot, and it automatically, potentially, I should say, makes that's it's a really cool template I got in store for you guys, and it's basically a numerology chatbot that calculates different things based on your name and birth date, and then it will basically give you back some information on when it did the calculations, and from there it sends people to an affiliate offer. So pretty cool chatbot setup, I guess, and it's something I would like to share with all of you guys as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see that as well. It was pretty impressive how it was working and
so I really hope that these new features actually allow me to do that, Fazi. Otherwise, well, it's a good case study and what we actually add more. So that's also
it. Awesome. Well, thanks guys for attending, and let's see you all on next Wednesday.
Thanks again for the info. Thank you, Rob. Thank you all watching. And yeah, Fauzi, excellent demo once again. You
Thanks.
blew my mind again, so it's gonna be cool. I think we
Thanks,
got
yeah.
another job right here after this call regarding to Zapier. I'm gonna have dinner right now, or cook something for dinner. I will catch up with you right after. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Enjoy the dinner.
Sure.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
See you guys.